Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. My name is Kartik. I'm one of the co-founders of ETH Global, and I am super excited to welcome all of you to FEVM. Thank you so much for joining us on ethglobal.tv. This is what we're going to be using this entire weekend for all the talks, workshops, and all of our demos at the end on Sunday. So if you are using this for the first time, I really encourage all of you to sign in and say hi. You can chat with us. We are monitoring this chat. If you ask a question, I'll be able to look at everything and answer this stuff directly on the live stream. And for everybody that's going to be participating on ethglobal.tv on this chat, we'll also be receiving a POAP for being part of this event. All right, let's get right into it. This event is brought to you by ETH Global. And for those of you who are joining an ETH Global event for the first time, we're an organization with a very simple mission. Our goal is to onboard thousands of developers into the Web3 ecosystem. And we do this by running hackathons and summits. And today and this weekend is going to be no different. So let's talk about what the next 48 hours are going to include. We have an incredible summit talking about all things Filecoin Virtual Machine. We're going to bring on a lot of people who have been behind the scenes, making sure that this runtime and this whole new innovation is ready for all of you to use and make really amazing things, and also to get feedback so they can improve things. And we're going to bring on all these speakers to talk about what is possible and where things are going. And then in the same time, we're going to be kicking off our first ever FEVM hackathon. So let's go right into all the details about this hackathon. This is the world's first ever FEVM hackathon. We're going to be giving everybody an early release on how things are going. You'll be able to chat with everybody to understand how to best use this runtime and build amazing things. And the best part about this thing is that this event's already huge. There's over 400 hackers from 70 different countries participating, spanning 19 different time zones. This is an online weekend event by ETH Global, which means that all of us will be pretty involved and staying up for the next 2 days. And we kind of put everybody on a map to see where they were all coming from. And it's super exciting to see representation from 6 different continents. So thank you so much for joining us for this incredible weekend. And I can't wait to see what all of you build and meet all of you and say hi to all of you on Discord. All right, let's go right into it. Not only do we have 400 plus amazing developers trying to build things on FEVM, we have 22 amazing mentors who are going to be here all weekend, making sure that you get all of your questions answered and help to really do anything that you want to do as part of building your project. And to top it all off, we're going to be giving $50,000 in prizes. And again, I'm going to be sharing all those details with you shortly. I want to really thank the IPFS and Filecoin teams for making this event possible. They're going to be here making sure that you have the right support and you all have a really positive and amazing experience in building incredible Web3 projects. So let's talk about this weekend. Lots of things to cover from our end. We're going to talk about how team formation works, how you can get help, all the prizes you can win. We're going to talk about judging a submission. And also after all of that, we're going to run into the summit piece and kick off with our first set of talks. So the most important thing here is that everything that we're going to be doing over the next 2 days is going to be on Discord. So please make sure if you are a hacker that you have gone to your dashboard on ethglobal.com and connected Discord. Connecting Discord will give you access to all the FEVM private channels. These channels are only available to people that are participating at the hackathon. So if you are a hacker, you will have access to these. If you are a mentor, you will be able to see this as well. And you get to ask questions here and see everything that's happening on Discord. If you want to just confirm if everything is right, you should see that hack FEVM category on your left sidebar. So just quickly check if you can see this, and this is where everything will be happening. We'll be making all the announcements, covering everything around judging, and all of the prize info and mentorship is right here. There's also a dedicated channel for getting help. So you can just click on the mentorship help channel and ask any questions, and we'll be there to answer all of these things for you and clarify anything that you may be confused about. And also we'll be giving and sharing a lot of calendar invites for some important talks and workshops and things like judging and submission deadlines. So don't worry, even if you are currently sleeping, which you want to get to hear this, you'll know exactly when things are happening and they'll be normalized for your own time zone. And the website is our source of truth, which means everything that's happening here this weekend is listed on the website down to the minute, and whatever the website says is what's happening. So if things are running behind or something changes, which it won't, you can check out all of that directly by heading over to the website. We really want this thing to be asynchronous and as asynchronous as possible. We have 70 countries and 19 different time zones, so we're going to try to make sure that you are at your best setup to take advantage of this entire weekend. And the only synchronous part here will be Sunday judging, which I'll talk about to make sure that we can all see and enjoy what everybody built. And as a reminder, the website is fevm.ethglobal.com, or fvm.ethglobal.com also works. All right, so how does the hackathon work? So this is a unique event for us because this event is a large introduction to hundreds of you to really explore what this virtual machine can do. And as part of that, the most common question I got was, what can I do here and how is this different than all the other events we've done? So I'm going to cover all of that in a second. So officially, the hackathon has kicked off, which means you can start working on your projects now, and you have 48 hours to build anything that you are interested in and get to demo and present that to our judges on Sunday. You can work on a project with a team. If you are working with somebody on a team, your team can have up to 5 members. And it is also totally okay to work on your own. You don't necessarily have to have a team. You can have 1 person on a team, or 2, 3, 4, or 5. The submission deadline is 12 p.m. Eastern, Sunday, November the 20th. In relative time, that is 47 hours and 40 minutes from me saying this sentence. So we'll be giving ample reminders just to make sure nobody has any confusion around the time zone normalization, but you have 48 hours before everything is due from a submission standpoint. Now, let's get to the question that we've been asked the most. What can I build? This event is to highlight that the most important thing piece here is that for this event, FEM is EVM compatible. You get to use everything from tooling to libraries to your dev tools to existing code all out of the box, and really deploy things that take advantage of storage as a primitive now with Solidity and smart contracts. And that gives you access to a lot more new things that were previously not possible before. You have a lot of new, unique, interesting applications on decentralized compute. You can do a lot more interesting integrations with Ethereum. You have a lot of stuff that you can do that is specifically native to Filecoin on retrieval markets and storage derivatives, or replication workers and data availability, or just renewing contracts based on conditional logic. You can automatically now make cross-chain applications possible that take advantage of the Filecoin Virtual Machine and different chains. And there's a lot of stuff around data DAOs and integrating with content and data to be now programmable. There's a lot of room here for really, really creative and impressive and interesting ideas, especially that now that you have EVM compatibility and you get to use a lot of things that you already know to how to do on Solidity and on Ethereum. And the big, most important thing to remember is that experimentation is okay. This is a 48-hour event. We know that you can't do too much in this short time, and that is totally expected and known. And we really want to encourage all of you to start small. This is okay for you to have a large idea and only get halfway through implementing some of those pieces that you wanted to do on Sunday or by Sunday. So don't try to finish too much and compromise on anything from sleep to rest to just making sure that you are well suited to really function and do things that you're excited about. And because you're also going to be trying this thing for the first time, the goal is to really explore the possibilities of ideas and really make sure that you can see what can be possible and use now after Sunday to really continue building those projects. So starting small is also okay. If you have a grand idea, you can just aim to finish a few features for it over the next 48 hours. And one other important thing here is that we really want to make sure that FEM gets better. And FEVM is an exciting runtime for people to build cool integrations leveraging storage. So one of the other highlights that we want to bring up here and make sure that we get to prioritize is that if you think something could be better, you get to actually actively improve the protocol and the runtime. And the feedback that we're going to get here helps everything get really even better for the next set of builders. And if you are interested in doing something more than just playing with this over the weekend, there's also a early builders program. You can see that on the fevm.filecoin.io website. So if you're interested in taking a project further, there's direct support and a next batch of builders program cohort that you get to be part of to get direct feedback, advice, and integrations, and just work with amazing people that are building similar things on the same platform. All right, so let's go into some of the key other pieces. Rules and criteria. So this event is going to be slightly different. As part of being an global event, the rules and criteria are fairly straightforward for all of our events, which is everything that we're going to be doing must be done from scratch, and you cannot build on a pre-existing personal project. We want to make sure things are fair to everybody that's participating from across the world. So adding things to something you've been doing for months or weeks or even days in your own free time on a personal project makes things kind of hard to really assess and keeps things a bit unfair. However, we are going to be making one exception here for this hackathon. And that exception is that if you are trying to port one of your existing Solidity projects to be compatible and run on FEM or FEVM, you get to do that. And that is allowed. And that means we get to really see how compatibility works here. We get to explore how we can do interesting integrations between two blockchains or two or more blockchains. And that piece is allowed. So if you are interested in porting something that you've done before to entirely this new runtime, that will be allowed. And there may be some edge cases and nuances here. So if you are in this category, just send us a ping and we'll be able to clarify this for you. The other piece I want to be really cognizant of is that only RSVP'd attendees can win prizes, which means that if you are working on a team, please make sure that your team members are listed under your team's section on your dashboard. If they do not show up and if you win a prize, then we will not be giving prizes to anybody who is not listed as a team member. So you have today to just really make sure that all that is ironed out and that all of your team members show up on your dashboard. And if you have any other questions that we haven't addressed, you can ask them directly here on this on eTHglobal.tv chat. I'll be able to look at this right now, or ask us this on Discord or email or any other way you can contact us. We'll be monitoring all those channels. All right, let's talk about judging. How is all of this going to be set up? So the most important thing here is that submissions are due on Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern. That is in relative time, 47 hours and 30 minutes from now. This will all be done through your hacker dashboard. So if you just go to ethglobal.com, you'll be logged in and you'll be able to see where to submit. You'll see all the information that you need to do. And once a submission is done from your side, you will have to go through the main judging process. The main judging kicks off immediately after the submissions are due, which means that as you are submitting, you will be told what the next steps are, and we'll do a first come, first serve basis for assigning a judging room to all of the teams. You will get to present what you built to an amazing set of judges. And then in parallel, all the prizes will be judged asynchronously from the Protocol Labs and the IPFS team. And if they have any questions, they'll be able to ping you directly on Discord. But project judging for any prizes is going to be asynchronous and in the background while the main judging is going on. Now, here is how the judging works. After you submit your project, you'll be told to get to a Zoom room where you will be assigned a room for judges who you'll be presenting to. You will get 7 minutes in total to present to one of our judges. And that is broken down into 3 minutes for questions and 4 minutes for a demo. You are allowed to make a live demo happen, which means you get to share your screen directly on Zoom and demo what you built. You will still get 4 minutes. We'll cut everybody off on the 4-minute mark because there's a lot of projects that we have to do in a really short amount of time. And then the next remaining time will be moved over for Q&A. We really recommend that you record a video of your demo instead of trying to do everything live. If you get the time, try to just quickly record a screen share of your demo up to 4 minutes and submit that as part of your submission process. Because if something goes wrong or something takes time, or if you're trying to do some mainnet transactions on a blockchain that's going to take a little bit longer, you want to be cognizant of the fact that you still have 4 minutes in total. And if something goes wrong, at least this backup works really well for everybody else to also see what you did and spent all this weekend working on. So really don't do this last minute. If you're listening here, I really encourage you to at least take 1 hour in total to make sure you have all the stuff for submission in the form worked out, as well as a demo recorded as a backup in case the live demo doesn't work last minute. All these details are going to be on your dashboard, so you don't have to worry too much about remembering any of this. We'll be prompting with a lot of this thing, from calendar invites to Discord messages to just your dashboard, really telling you what the next step is. The other important piece is that there's a lot of prizes that we're giving, and I'm going to cover a lot of them in a couple minutes. And when you are trying to win any of these prizes, make sure you select that you are trying to win those prizes as well, and in that submission form. And only if you select that is when the IPFS and Filecoin team will know that we have to evaluate your prizes. So if you forget that, there's no other way for somebody to know that you wanted to be eligible for a particular category of prize. So make sure that you don't forget to check that box, and do remember to check it. All right. And of course, there's a lot of you here who are joining us for the first time. There's a lot of you here who are joining us from Web 2 for the first time as a seasoned engineer. So I want to welcome all of you here and really kind of talk about what happens if this is your first time participating in this event. This event is designed to be friendly for everybody with any skill set. This has an intentional goal around onboarding a lot of existing developers into Web3, and we have amazing content and plans for how do we onboard a lot of beginners and also make this equally interesting for anybody who's been in this space for a long time. That means there's a lot of talks and workshops. Some of this has already happened. Some of you already joined us on a lot of these workshops and brainstorming sessions. Everything is on the website from the schedule. We're going to kick off a summit in about 10-15 minutes right now directly. And our goal is to make sure that you are as informed as possible and you get to learn about all the exciting things that are happening on the cutting edge. So don't be afraid to just jump in, learn about what's happening, or join any of these talks or workshops, or just simply ask questions. There's a lot of people here who want to make sure that you are successful and you are able to learn and get your questions answered. And also, all this information is recorded, which means that if you are in a different time zone and if you want to sleep in 10 minutes, but you want to really catch the talk that's in 2 hours, you'll be able to watch that immediately on YouTube the second it finishes. And that means you have a 60-second delay in catching up on something after it ends. And all these things will also be reflected directly on the website for this event, fevm.ethglobal.com. And you can just head over to our YouTube channel to watch anything that comes out of this weekend directly on demand. And if you are still looking for a team, you can head over to Find a Team channel on Discord and reach out to all others that are looking to also meet other potential teammates and really work on exciting projects. And of course, there's so many of you from so many parts of the world, so don't forget to introduce yourself into the FEVM chat channel. We're really excited to meet you and see what you're excited about and where you're coming from. And again, just to remember, if you can't find a team, that's totally okay. If you want to work on a project on your own and use this as an opportunity to learn something or learn how to deploy something on FEVM for the first time, that is totally okay. You don't need a team to submit a project. You get to work on your own as well. And in case you haven't seen this yet, you also have access to a tool on your Hacker dashboard to find potential teammates from this event. You can look for people who are experienced in a certain skill set. If you're looking for a front-end engineer or a designer or a back-end engineer or somebody who really knows smart contracts, you get to use this on your Hacker dashboard to find other team members and contact them and see if they are also interested in working with you. This is a double opt-in. So if you are looking to be found on this database, you have to go onto your Hacker dashboard and check the box saying, I would like to be contacted by others who are also looking for a team. So give that a shot. And we're also doing a team formation session shortly later today. So just check out all of those details on the website. Now, the other couple of things are that this is a really tight weekend, and there's a lot of things going on. So I want to make sure that you have opportunities to get feedback on anything that you are either stuck on or want to know more about, or anything that you are trying to understand better. So we're going to be hosting a feedback session with the Filecoin team. This is tomorrow, 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. in relative time. This is going to be, man, this is hard, 29 hours from now, 28.5 hours from now. And you get to come in, get feedback on what you're building. If you are trying to get some questions answered, you get to just hop in, and this works kind of like an office hours. There'll be the people there to make sure that you are unblocked on anything that you're excited about. And if you want to just show off what you've been building and just get feedback on how to make this even cooler, you get to do that right now. So check this out, and you will be seeing all this stuff on your info center and all of our schedule website too. And lastly, we want to talk about the code of conduct. Even though this is an online event, all of our rules and code of conduct still applies to this event. And in short, please be respectful, and harassment and abuse in any form will not be tolerated. All the rules are listed on ethglobal.com/rules. And one quick thing to just note is that anything that you build is going to be solely owned by you. So all intellectual property belongs to you as a hacker. And we want to make sure that you get to maintain the full rights to everything that you're building. And if you have any other questions or anything that we can clarify, just ping us on email or Discord or anywhere else you can find us, and we'll be happy to answer those questions for you. And as a reminder, the website is fevm.ethglobal.com. That has everything for we're going to be doing the next 48 hours. All right, before we kick off with the summit, I want to quickly talk about all the amazing prizes that we have, and then I'll stop talking and get to listen to a lot of more amazing people talking about all the things that they've been working on. So a total of $35,000 will be awarded for this event from the IPFS and Filecoin team. And to quickly talk about what these things are, let's go right into this. So there's a lot of prizes that you can win for just building cool things on FEVM. The grand prize for the best and the most interesting project will be taking in $6,000. And there will be two runner-ups for the same category for the best and most innovative use, taking in $3,000 each. And then there are going to be 10 recipients who will be winning $500, who are also going to be qualifying for the most innovative use of FEVM. Then there are subcategories for how you can best check out what is possible and extend the use cases here. So the best use case for lending and DeFi will be receiving $3,000. There's going to be two winners here. And you'll have bonus points for also integrating any storage or retrieval market use cases as part of this category. We also want to make sure that we get to do some cool experiments with data DAOs, and the best use of FEVM within that data DAO will have two recipients winning $3,000 each. Then there's also a category for the best building blocks, such as building native DEXs or AMMs or other primitives that will be useful for others to build on in the future. And there's going to be two $3,000 recipients for this category as well. So these are all the amazing prizes, and we're going to disclose some more later on the website and on Sunday. So check out all this information on either your hacker dashboard, or if you want to find out specifics about these prizes on how you qualify the documentation or the specific nuances on what is and isn't allowed, you can go to the event website and click on the prizes section, and you'll be able to see all those details immediately. And finally, just before we kick off the summit, as a reminder, we really want you to pace yourself. I know this is a weekend hackathon, but do not work on something at the cost of your health or sleep. We really don't want this thing to be exhausting for you, and we really want you to have fun. We're going to be here making sure that you have all of your questions answered. And at the end of the day, this whole event is about experimentation and learning. This is the first large-scale global event on FEVM. We have no idea what's going to happen in terms of the cool things that we're going to see, and that's the best part. And we want to make sure that you get to try out these new things instead of treating this as a competition. This is not a competition at all. So with that, happy hacking, everybody. I will thank you so much for listening in. We're going to see all of you on our Discord. And if you have any questions about the hackathon specifically, you get to ask these questions on Discord or on eTglobal.tv. But I'm going to stop talking now and get right into our incredible summit. We're going to have the next few hours jam-packed with amazing technical things that you get to do on the FEVM runtime. And this kicks off the FEVM Summit. So an amazing set of talks here today. We have 6 talks we're going to go into. We're going to bring on Molly to give a keynote on what FEVM is. Then we're going to have Sarah talk about the compatibility pieces of FEVM and FEVM. We're going to talk about Glyph and Zondex on just how do you make tooling even better to make sure you are able to really build cool things and quickly with John and Noah. And Zach's going to talk about just what it looks like to program on FEVM and how you get to just go get started quickly. And then we're going to bring on a lot more people to talk about Glacier DAO, Lagrange DAO, and the boot camp that we're doing to get all of you more involved into this ecosystem with Pooja closing off today's summit.